I refused to let my mother move in with me after she lost her house. My sister called me screaming at 6 in the morning saying I was going to let our own mother become homeless. I told her my decision was final. She said I was the only one with a spare bedroom and that I made the most money out of all the siblings. I told her that didn't matter. She called me selfish and heartless and said our father would be ashamed of me if he were still alive. My brother texted me an hour later saying I was dead to him. My aunt sent me a long email about how family takes care of family no matter what. My cousin posted on social media about people who abandon their parents when they need them most without using my name, but everyone knew who she meant. By noon, I had 23 missed calls, and my mother hadn't even contacted me directly yet. She finally called me that evening with her voice small and broken. She said she understood if I was angry with her, but she had nowhere else to go. She said the bank had given her 30 days to vacate, and she had already sold most of her furniture. I asked her what happened to all the money from the house sale 4 years ago when she downsized after Dad died. She went quiet for a moment before saying things had gotten complicated. I asked her what that meant. She said she had made some investments that didn't work out. I asked her to be more specific. She started crying and said she didn't want to talk about it. I told her I already knew exactly where the money went because the bank had called me 6 months ago when she listed me as a reference on a loan application. The bank told me my mother had taken out a $180,000 home equity loan to give to my younger brother Dominic for his restaurant. The same brother who had just texted me saying I was dead to him. The same brother who had already failed at 2 other businesses that my parents had funded over the years. My mother had given him everything from the house sale plus borrowed against her new smaller home and then watched him drive another venture into the ground within 18 months. When I confronted her about it 6 months ago, she told me it was none of my business and that Dominic had potential that I was too jealous to see. She told me I had always been bitter, that he was more ambitious than me. I had paid my own way through college while she co-signed 3 different car loans for him that she eventually had to cover when he defaulted. The money she gave Dominic wasn't even the real reason I said no. When I was 22 and just starting my career, I got into a car accident that put me in the hospital for 3 weeks. I had no savings and no insurance because I was between jobs. I asked my parents for help covering the medical bills that were going to destroy my credit for decades. My mother told me I needed to learn to stand on my own 2 feet. She said bailing me out would only enable me to keep making poor decisions. I was 22 years old with a shattered pelvis and $84,000 in medical debt. I spent the next 8 years crawling out of that hole while watching her hand Dominic check after check for every failed scheme he cooked up. When I finally paid off the last bill, I didn't even tell her because she had never asked about it once. I asked her on the phone why she thought I should help her now when she refused to help me back then. She said that was different because I was young and needed to learn responsibility. I asked her how much responsibility Dominic had learned from his 3 failed businesses. She told me I was being cruel and that I had no idea how hard it was being a mother who just wanted all her children to succeed. I told her Dominic has a house with 3 empty bedrooms and maybe she should ask him. She said he was going through a difficult time and couldn't handle the stress of a house guest. I almost laughed out loud. The son she bankrupted herself for couldn't handle the stress of helping her. She asked me one more time if I would please reconsider. I told her I learned to stand on my own 2 feet just like she taught me. Maybe it was time she did the same. She moved into Dominic's basement 2 weeks later after his wife finally guilt-tripped him into agreeing. Last I heard, they're already fighting constantly. I sleep just fine.